Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, March the 12th. Big warm-up coming to the Mid-Atlantic region. It begins later on today. Still quite breezy today in places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, but that wind will shift in direction from the northwest to the west and then the southwest, usher in some milder air for this afternoon, probably well up in the 60s for afternoon highs in that I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic region, and 70-plus degrees on the table for Wednesday and Thursday. Very nice stretch of weather coming up for the Mid-Atlantic region and the northeastern part of the nation. Probably the biggest weather story, however, is the major winter storm that's coming to the Rocky Mountain states, the Four Corners region. I believe Denver, Boulder, those metro areas in Colorado have maybe 6 to 12 inches on the table from tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening into early Friday morning, and we'll kind of focus in on that big winter storm coming to the Rocky Mountains here in this video discussion. First of all, here is the total snowfall forecast map by last night's conventional or zero-Z run of the GFS model, and you can see all this snow centered over the Four Corners states, but really throughout the Rocky Mountains, interior parts of the western U.S., even some additional snowfall for the Sierra Nevada mountains of eastern Colorado. And this storm also helps to produce snow all the way up to British Columbia in the southwestern part of Canada. Hardly anything across the eastern third of the nation. You have to go all the way up to northern New England for any decent accumulating snow over the next 5 days. But again, I think in the Denver, Colorado area, there could be maybe 6 to 12 inches of snow on the table. Certainly strong winds as well will likely accompany this storm. This is, climatologically speaking, a pretty favorable time of year for major winter storms in places like Denver, Colorado. We're into March, and especially during El Nino winter seasons, or at least a weakening El Nino right now as we head towards the end of winter into early spring. So climatologically speaking, not too unusual to see a snowstorm for Denver, and it looks like indeed a foot is on the table for Wednesday evening into early Friday morning. Well, let's walk through the forecast maps for the vorticity field. These are areas of spin in the upper part of the atmosphere that can lead to strong upward motion in the lower part of the atmosphere. The vorticity maxima, as we call them, are associated with jet streaks. Those are smaller regions of high winds in the overall jet stream. And we'll see an interesting thing developing here for that energy associated with the Rocky Mountain winter storm here. It will become a very slow mover. Here we begin the day here on Tuesday. Again, a kind of a ridge popping up here in the eastern half of the nation, and it turns much milder this afternoon in the Mid-Atlantic region. Northeast U.S. was already quite mild yesterday out across the Mississippi Valley region. That's expanding to the east later on today, and will remain very mild for the next few days. Now, let's move forward here. There's a weak system out here, but this is the major system coming into the western U.S. by tomorrow morning, situated right here. And we'll see it kind of consolidates right here by the time we get to later on tomorrow night into Thursday morning. And again, I think the snow could begin in the Denver area tomorrow evening. Actually, it begins as rain and then it changes over to snow probably between 6 p.m. and midnight tomorrow night. Change over to snow, and that continues not only through the day on Thursday, but into Thursday night and even into early Friday morning. And we'll see here one of the reasons why this just sits here and spins. Here we go all the way into Friday morning, and this upper level low kind of gets cut off and just kind of spins over that Four Corners region. Again, we're talking Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. Those higher elevation areas can get some significant snow out of this as it becomes a very slow mover. We're now all the way into the weekend here. It's still some semblance of this system out over the southwestern states. You also see another significant system dropping down out of central Canada, south central Canada, into the northern U.S. And one other thing I do want to mention here, let's backtrack a little bit. this particular time when places like Denver may be getting that heavy snow, a lot of milder air will pump up to the north and east out ahead of that storm system. And this is an area that could see some severe weather. This is the forecast map for Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. So with an influx of mild air and humid air, watch out for some severe thunderstorm activity. Let's say the lower middle Mississippi Valley region, but right in this area right here, well ahead of that cold air mass associated with the winter storm. So let's keep moving forward here. Now we get into the upcoming weekend. This is Saturday morning, and we'll move forward. This system up to the north drops south and east. And look at this, we're all the way into Sunday. And here is that system still sitting and spinning out over the southwestern states here, now over northern Mexico as well. And this wave in the upper part of the atmosphere by next Monday, and let's go all the way out to Tuesday. This is Tuesday morning. This will certainly result in a colder air mass moving into the northeastern part of the nation during the early part of next week. This is the forecast map for a week from right now, next Tuesday, March 19th. Well, now let's take a look at the 850 millibar temperature anomaly forecast maps from the 0Z GFS. A lot of warmer than normal conditions as we begin the day here on Tuesday up across the Great Lakes, really centered over the Great Lakes with respect to the departures from normal here. But this now expands into the eastern states. Big warm up this afternoon. Yesterday was well below normal temperatures in the Mid-Atlantic region with a 50-mile-per-hour northwest wind to boot. And today, becoming noticeably milder by this afternoon, well up in the 60s, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. And that warm shot sticks around for the next few days for sure. But here we go, all the way into now Thursday morning. This is warmer than normal across the eastern half of the nation, colder than normal out across the west. And this is the time for that snowstorm over the Four Corners region. Again, probably begins in Denver Wednesday evening with a changeover from rain to snow and continues through Thursday. Basically centered on the day Thursday, but certainly snow can continue into Friday, especially given the fact that that upper level support just sits there and spins not only into the late week, but into the weekend as well. And here we go, quite a bit of colder than normal air out across the western half of the nation as we end the work week. This is Friday morning forecast, and still very, very mild in the east. Now this mild weather will eventually come with a shower threat, but probably not till Friday in the Mid-Atlantic region. Thursday could absolutely be a spring fever alert kind of a day with high temperature 70 to 75 degrees in places like D.C., Philadelphia, even New York City, with plenty of sunshine as well. So this is the Friday morning forecast map, and then we'll start to see some colder air dropping from the south and east across the northern plains, and then that works its way all the way south and east into the Great Lakes region by next Monday, and finally into the eastern states by next Tuesday. This is a week from right now. So yeah, we have a big warm-up coming this afternoon, Wednesday and Thursday, even into Friday in the Mid-Atlantic Northeast U.S., but we get another cold shot coming by the early part of next week, and that will not be the last of the cold shots. It looks like additional cold shots right to the end of the month of March and even into the early part of April. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps from the 0Z GFS. High pressure now in control, centered over the Tennessee Valley, edging into the Mid-Atlantic region. A big warm-up really becomes noticeable this afternoon. It's still quite breezy today in the Mid-Atlantic region. You can still see that pressure gradient with these black lines, the isobars here, lines of equal pressure, still rather tight, but the winds diminish later on in the day. Now, let's move forward here. Here comes the beginnings of that storm system out into the interior northwestern part of the nation by this evening. Then we drive into the day on Wednesday. This is midday Wednesday, already beginning to see some snow over those higher elevation locations of the Rocky Mountain states. Very mild, tranquil, Plenty of sunshine on Wednesday and Thursday in the Middle Atlantic, Northeast U.S. And here we go by Thursday morning. This is when we really could see some heavy snowfall across Colorado Rockies, for example, even into the plains, Denver, Boulder areas to the east of the highest elevations here. Heavy snow on Thursday. And again, with that spinning in the atmosphere aloft, this storm system will be a kind of a long-lasting storm system out there. Again, snow maybe from Wednesday evening into at least Friday out across Denver. Now, this is late Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening forecast map. We have one low-pressure area centered here, a big influx of cold air and a strong support aloft out here. But this is an area right here where I have to watch for the possibility of some severe weather. Again, this is later Thursday into Thursday evening, and have this influx of Gulf of Mexico, very warm and humid air with that colder air mass plunging to the south and east. So watch out for this particular zone here for some possible severe weather. Certainly, earlier in the video I said this is climatologically speaking a pretty active winter storm time of the year for places like Denver and the rest of Colorado. Climatologically speaking, it's also very active for the threat of severe thunderstorms out across the Mississippi Valley when you're getting into the middle part of March. So watch out in this area on Thursday, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. At the same time, we got the snowstorm raging across the Colorado Rockies and surrounding areas. Now, let's move forward here. And again, watch out right in this region. This is all the way into early Friday morning across the Mississippi Valley region. Snow continues. Again, it's not only Colorado, it's New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. Really a four corners type of storm system after it does produce some more snow across California highlands here. All the way into Friday night, and then finally Saturday morning. Still some snow over the Four Corners area. And here comes that charge of colder air across southern Canada. This is going to drive to the south and east in this fashion. This is the Saturday morning forecast map, and let's keep moving ahead here. There'll be basically a strong cold front right in this region right here by the time we get to midday on Sunday. We're pretty much centered right in this area. Again, this is driving to the south and east in this fashion. Colder than normal, certainly for the second half of the weekend across the Great Lakes and the northern plains. Now let's continue to move forward here, and certainly a couple of opportunities for showers in the Mid-Atlantic region, one Friday and another one perhaps Sunday with this frontal system. Get all the way out into Monday. Colder air moving into the Great Lakes and the Mid-Atlantic region early next week, and we'll go all the way out to next Tuesday morning right here. Even some scattered lake effect snow possible by next Tuesday with that influx of colder air. You can see a 522 thickness. That's pretty cold air for this time of the year. Again, this is a week away from right now, next Tuesday, March 19th. So a lot going on, but the biggest story over the next several days will likely be that snowstorm coming to the Rocky Mountain states. Even Denver, Boulder areas can get 6 to perhaps as much as 12 inches of snow later tomorrow evening into the day on Friday with a slow-moving upper level system. Big warm-up for the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast U.S. over the next few days. Colder air returns early next week. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.